is that my honey is not understanding, so it is better to part with honey. So now see, if I part with the honey, what happens? We never think, will I be happy if I part with the honey, if I part with the car, if I shave or do not shave, if my car breaks down. It has nothing to do with my happiness at all. So you see that these masters who pass on this wisdom, look at it. So you see that you put this knowledge into the mind. Simple. Then you will keep smiling. As my master used to say, keep smiling all the time. You want to be angry? First smile and then become angry. That will only happen if you remember it. If you remember only when the mind is clear. If the mind is not filled, habituated, conditioned by the thoughts that we do not think. It's a non-thinking. Non-thinking leads to ignorance. What we say ignorance? Not knowing my real nature. You see, a step-by-step understanding. And they are known as distractions of the mind. What the distraction does? You continue to wander your mind. The mind is constantly wandering. You never say, my car is running on its own, what should I do? But you say, my mind is running, what should I do? Does your car run on its own? No. But my mind is constantly running. So, when we understand step by step and we check it, mind, where are you going? You see the wisdom of our masters. And then they say the mind is totally independent and separate from you. You and the mind are two separate entities. So here comes my friend Michelle. So mind and you are separate entities. Once we remember and understand this, mind is not distracted and the distraction does not cause any obstacle in our life. I was talking, Michelle, that mind is the cause of suffering and also the happiness. But how do we understand? Mind says the person living with me is crazy. So my mind has gone outside. Example. I believe no one is crazy in your house. Okay. So now see, check the movement of the mind. Mind has gone out, picked up an object or a person and created likes and dislikes. Do you see that? I created likes and dislikes, means my mind. So when I become aware, hold on, mind, Hold on, my mind, let me check what you are saying to me. That the person or a thing near me is causing a problem to me. Think on. Mind, hold on, let me see how he or she is creating a problem to me. Because I like or I dislike, I like what he or she should do. But he or she goes opposite, so I have a dislike, so that I feel that you are crazy. See that understanding, our masters give us a totally a new perspective to the mind to see where the problem lies. You go to a psychiatrist, oh, you have an anxiety, so I have an anxiety questionnaire. Your score is 90, you are on a borderline. Here are the pills. We say all problems belongs to the mind, no problem belongs to you. You are separate. And the moment you are separate, how can you separate mind from you? You can separate your car, your phone, your honey or money, etc., etc. But how to separate mind from myself? Through the knowledge. That is what we are learning. You cannot separate your mind and put it on the table. Do you see that? That is why we talk, that is why we learn these principles. Knowledge. So I put the knowledge, what is right and good, what is always right and what is always good. But mind says, I have lot of doubt about what you are speaking. I represent the Eastern wisdom, 6,000 years old tradition, 3,000 masters. But my mind has a doubt. That is why even after learning, knowing, I do not change. You see, step by step process. Because I have doubt, I have confusion about the knowledge you are talking. That is why it is not assimilated completely. That is why I need to practice. First knowledge, then practice. That is the beauty of Eastern wisdom. So now see, all these thoughts are coming into my mind. They are known as distractions. That is known as a wandering mind. Whose mind it is? Whose car it is? Is the car running on its own? No. No, I was cooking vegetable and I left the cooking stove open. Whose responsibility it is? Mind is a dead matter. So why you forgot it? Because the mind is somewhere else. Mind is wandering. So that wandering mind is known as distracted mind. So because the mind is distracted, it causes the ignorance, means not knowing. It causes lot of obstacles, out of which our master says, this master says, there are 9 fundamental obstacles. Do you remember we did Om meditation with the meaning and the knowledge? Our masters are very kind. They say, okay, you cannot do this practice, do the second practice. If you cannot do the second, do the third one. If you cannot do the third one, do the fourth one. One guy last year asked me, every week I used to give private lessons. So he did 50 practices. He said no practice succeeds. Can I say that you failed in each and every practice because of the mind? Otherwise, every practice is as strong as you think of. Why it happens? Because I do not think, I do not assimilate that knowledge. And the knowledge is simple. I and my mind are different. Simple. So when I separate my real nature, what I am, from the mind, how the mind dares to be distracted. So we learned that Om meditation with a meaning can lead to the highest meditation. Your mind says, now your mind says, I do not succeed, I have lot of challenges, no problem. Master says, continue, do the regular practice with the wisdom, it will help you. No, I cannot do it. So the Master says, why you don't do it? You don't feel like doing it. You feel, no, today I have lot of pain in the body. That is why. No, you have a pain in the body. That is why you must do the practice. Many people tell me, they send an email. No, I have lot of pain in the body, so it is better to skip today. I said, thank you very much. You don't want to remove the wrong notions from the mind. That is why we are not progressing. See that? That is why we are not progressing. So these distractions, whether you say distractions, disturbances in the mind, wandering, they express themselves in 9 obstacles, 9 hindrances, 9 hindrances, 9 barriers. That is why we are not able to succeed in mindfulness or meditation. There is another thing that is also very important. You come to me with a big face and I get upset. I am responsible for becoming upset, or you are? I am. How I am responsible? Because I like to own unhappiness in the world. Think of it. Michelle, yes, you are a researcher, so you have to think and research and send your conclusion to all the friends. So see that? My master says you have a right to reject, and still you own unhappiness, sorrow, and that causes lot of obstacles that keeps the mind wandering outside. I like to own anxiety. That is why I am in anxiety. How dare mind can be in anxiety and stress if I don't want to own? Why I own? Answer. Why I own? I follow a habitual and a mechanical path. One reason. I don't know there is any other option except to, when I was dating, honey is honey. Now, after living, that honey has become a problem. So I became happy by being single. Then something triggered in the mind. what a beautiful guy or a girl. Now I want to be happy, huh? Being married. And now, just one example, so that you can apply to any object instead of it's not only about marriage. Now, after living for a few months, I have lot of objections, reactions in the mind. Then I think, what a life with honey. Before that, there is no life without honey. Look at any object, anything in the world. So, I want to own happiness. After being a single, I got married, so I like to own some unhappiness. Now I want to divorce. I still want to own some unhappiness. Think of it. You will find out that I am attracted to the unhappiness. But why I want to own unhappiness? Ask yourself. That is the beauty of this Eastern wisdom. It doesn't leave you at any belief, dogma, religion. It does not show you a heaven without valid knowledge. Because there is no heaven. It's not a valid knowledge. It's only a belief. Huh? So I like to own unhappiness, sorrow and the suffering that causes the mind wandering. Wandering mind causes the distraction that fails me to succeed, that fails me in meditation. So what we are looking in the word ultimate security, total freedom from the fears, as if the object or a person or your honey, so-called honey, example, will give you a complete security. If your honey gives you a complete security, the entire world with 7 billion people will stand in a line before your house to get the complete security. The complete security, freedom and the peace is not there outside. Do you see that? It is not outside. So I am looking for a thing that is not there. What will happen to the mind? Don't go and put wrong argument. Should I leave my honey? I did not say that. That's a wrong argument. I have to see how I can correct myself. Do you see that? The mind instantly goes, okay, you are telling me something very good. I never thought in that way. Now I see where lies the problem. Like 20 years ago, I heard a story that one American married 9 times, went to a psychiatrist asking, where lies the problem? In all my 9 wives or me? So become aware before it is too late. Before it is too late. Change yourself. Michelle is fine. So Master says all these are obstacles. They enter into my mind in a particular thought. And that thought has a liking and disliking. I do not examine what exactly is this liking and disliking. When you examine, then your mind returns to yourself. The thoughts related to that object which has been causing the mind to wander will stop automatically. How many times you think of me? How many times you think of those people who are nearest to you plus dividend of anxiety, of duality. You see that? You get a dividend with whom you are living, whom you claim you are very close to them. Or whom the society said you are the closest. You may not say yes to to me, but think of it, you will find these are the reasons. So now come to the expressions. I cannot do the practice because I have headache, pain, fatigue, tiredness. Mind is distracted. I have been telling, and Michelle perhaps also knows, we have a Terry who has a Parkinson, lives in Brooklyn. She never misses the practice on Mondays and Thursdays. And I would say 90% of the time she has understood the principle. Her body stops complete as it moving. No movement in the body during the practice. If she can do it, complete the sentence. So I do not feel like doing the practice despite likes and dislikes delude the mind, but meditation can only succeed when the mind leaves likes and dislikes. We are committed. You commit to yourself, not to anyone outside. That I have to change this mind. I feel my mind is heavy, that is why I cannot. I do not question what it means by heaviness of the mind. Does your weight increase? When I say I have a lot of heaviness in the body and the mind, you see, those thought enters into the mind. Then ask yourself, has the body increased its weight? That's why I feel heavy. Michelle says maybe. Who knows? So you see, it never happens. The mind or the body does not increase its weight, but I feel that heaviness because of the wandering mind, because of the distraction, because it is picking up the thoughts which has an element of likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment, craving, then only I feel heaviness. Recognizing these obstacles in my mind is the first step. How do you recognize? If you think, then you recognize. You question. You question the mind. Whose mind? Your mind. Nothing will happen if you say, I don't like your explanation. Nothing will happen. My master used to say, you start thinking the way these masters are thinking, even for a week. I can say you even for an hour. You just start thinking. The way the masters are thinking, 99% of the problems will go away from your life. You think pending inquiry and practice. We don't say belief, blind belief. We say understand the principle, pending inquiry, followed by the practice changes you. It has happened for millions of people. In the last 6,000 years old tradition. Every problem means mind is seeking a solution. Every problem, from anxiety, from duality, from conflict, the mind is seeking a solution. I have a beautiful girl from California in a group session. As she claims, she has tremendous anxiety and depression. After 3 months, she started smiling. Everyone appreciates, you're bubbling with energy. So I told her that don't remind your mind what happened 2 and 3 months before. But remember, continue to install those thoughts that you have learned in these sessions. See that when you start thinking in a particular way, that gives knowledge to you about who you are. That dispels all the wrong notions from the mind, and you are ready to take a leap in your life. So we will understand each and every obstacle one after the other. But what this another message in this sutra? So he says that 9 obstacles caused by the distraction, and you have to remove these distractions in the state of cheerfulness of the mind. Question is, are you ready? How can I be cheerful? My mind is, I feel heaviness in the body and the mind. I feel like sleeping in your practice. See, it is the same mind which is saying, wants to repeat itself. So you see that? So it says that a seeker, if you are a seeker, you live in the state of cheerfulness. And when your mind lives in the state of cheerfulness, commitment, sincerity, and devotion to the practice comes naturally, and then you succeed. Then you succeed. So for the highest level of seeker, we have studied before, couple of weeks before, the highest level of a seeker has to do nothing. He has to simply become aware of the mind. Before any thought enters into the mind, throw it outside. Do not allow the entry. Write a big sign in your mind, no entry, please. My honey made me crazy, this thought, no entry. Money, my honey, in spite of lot of challenges, I will see how I will keep that endurance so that mind will learn a good lesson. Entry. Entry, no entry. 2 boards, 2 signboards. I'm simply saying just do the practice even for an hour. Within that hour, your mind will change. Your perception will change. The knowledge in the mind will change. And that mind will say, wow, what a beautiful way. That neither I am influenced or dictated by any object in the world, nor I am ready to influence or dictate anyone in the world. That I is the real self. That real self is self-existent. That real self is self-evident, self-existent, self-luminous. Last point. What does it mean by self-existent? It does not depend on anything outside. It is self-evident. Evident means it proves its existence by itself. The mind has to depend on the consciousness. If you are sleeping, there is no mind. It depends on the consciousness. Self-luminous means that. What is self-luminous? That real self we have to discover is the goal of meditation. What is the meaning of self-luminous? Think of it again and again. It's like sun. Sun gives light to all the objects, and sun gives light to itself also. Sun knows sun by itself. I don't need the mind to know my real self. That is why we empty the mind. That is why we are talking of distraction. The distraction cannot help me to find who am I. Why distract? Because mind is going outside. Real self is inside. Don't start thinking wrongly. Okay, now I understand. My real self is located inside my honey. That is why I am fighting with the honey. You see, lot of wrong conceptions. So that is why it is a journey. You understand bit by bit. Knowledge cannot be realized in one go. Like the seed does not become a tree overnight. Knowledge is realized in stages. You see that knowledge you receive today, followed by the practice. What happens by the practice? You are plowing the field of the mind. You are sowing the seed of the wisdom. You are removing the doubt and the conflict and the confusion. Then that knowledge settles by practice, and experience takes over. Every day, even for 10 minutes, with eyes open or closed, sit down and become aware. Whatever the mind says, you say it, you do not belong to me. And then see what happens. How dare the anxiety can enter into you. It is a product of wrong understanding, wrong perception in the mind. And the mind is not you. Your real self, which is self-evident, self-existent, self-luminous, is the goal, is the discovery, is the journey of meditation. Don't be so serious, I said. Master says be cheerful. So let us do the practice and see how it happens. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Sitting or making your body comfortable. Making your body comfortable. Recheck your body, adjust and align your body. Whatever the position of the body is okay. No worries. Look at the body, feel the body, and become aware of the body. Then move the mind inside the body. Eyes are closed. Move the mind inside the body, inside the head. How easy, simple, natural. What I am asking, look inside the head. Am I saying run the mind, make an effort? I'm saying just look inside the head. Means you are aware of the head inside. It means you are aware of the space, darkness, or blankness. But the mind opposes you to be aware of the space inside the head. That is the distraction. It triggers. What triggers? The past impression, your habit, your impulsive, your instinctive, your habitual nature. So that is what we understood. It is because of distraction. Mind likes to own unhappiness. Keep that knowledge clear. Don't go to the wrong perception. Oh no, I have a lot of problem in the body. That is why I did not succeed. Come on. Then what you have learned? Now being comfortable, looking at the neck joint. You see that you move the mind from the physical to the subtle to the subtler level of awareness. What that means? See that? First, bring the mind to the neck joint. So physical, that is purely physical. Now less physical is experience, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Where? In the neck joint. Wherever the mind goes, you are bound to feel the sensation, especially in the body. That is one of the biggest principles. How do you recognize the neck joint? Because you feel it, you know it, you recognize it, you are aware of it, whether I say sensation, comfort, and steadiness, or whether I use these phrases. They all amounts to the same thing. And what is after sensation, comfort, and steadiness? It is only the space within. If the mind is moving into the space or a blankness, there is no distraction. You are the highest level of a seeker. And if you are not, the mind returns outside. It blames and complains through the sensation or through other thoughts. Then we need to understand. Then we are a medium level of a seeker. I told you, a seeker always succeeds. Now the same way. Physical, subtle, subtler, looking at the shoulder joints. Looking means you are aware. When you are aware, you feel, you recognize here are shoulder joints. Then you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness, which is independent of the shoulder joints. And the mind naturally moves within, likes to move within. Highest level of a seeker. Not moving. It does not stay there. Then we have to do other steps. We are going to understand in that way. Then look at the hip joint. This is a reference point. We pick up only the 3 joints. So hip joint, recognition, cognition. You see what is cognition? Knowing it. Recognition. Why I say recognize it? You already know what it means by hip joint. Cognition, recognition, here and now. We miss that part. How come? Mind is distracted somewhere and you are thinking, you are listening to me and mind says, I know. What the heck? And that you lose, there is a lack of awareness. Lack of awareness, you miss the meditation. So neck joint, hip joint, then sensation, comfort, and steadiness, and looking deep inside. So knowledge is 80% for the highest level of a seeker. Practice is 10%. Now look at the entire body, all the joints, awareness. What is that awareness? Awareness, recognition, cognition, recognition of the entire body and all the joints. So when the mind takes it for granted, your body moves, and I catch you. I understand where you are. Your eyeballs moves, I understand. See that? And you experience sensation, comfort, and in that state of the body, look inside the head and see the thoughts are coming and going. Let them come and go. Let them come and go. Yes. Why? I am not the mind. I am not the car. I am not any gadget. Mind is a spatial gadget to know the things in the world. At present, I don't want to know anything in the world, but the mind has an influx of the thoughts pertaining to the things in the world. I don't want to know anything. I have closed the door. There is a storm outside. I have closed the door. And I am sitting inside. Let the storm continue. That is the meaning of being carefree. Carefree, free from cares that the mind takes. And the mind has learnt only one way to care, by the thoughts that I don't need. So when I see all these thoughts are not me, separate from me, they come, welcome. They go, welcome. They stay, welcome. Why? I am none of them. So that is normally the journey of a highest level of a seeker. And in that state, you simply looking at the breath without changing, you succeed in mindfulness. If you can stay in that state of being comfortable, being carefree every day for 30 to 40 minutes, within few weeks you succeed. But it doesn't happen. It means I should recognize I am not the highest level of a seeker. I have to do something more. So what the medium level of a seeker do? They do some active practices. So today we are going to do the 3 steps. So first, looking inside the heart, in the center of the heart, and start breathing playfully, quick, short, and the fast breathing through both the nostrils into the chest. Keep your focus inside the heart. Just stop for a while and check what thought entered into your mind. Did the mind say, no, it is too much, I should have stopped it? No, my mind was wandering somewhere else. You see, the mind does not want to do the passive steps that we have done before, and still it does not want to continue with the active steps. Recognize that is where the mind stands now. It says, I am ready to do it. But what Eastern wisdom asks the mind to do it, it says, okay, I'm doing it. You become lazy. No way. Again start breathing quick, short, and the fast breath from the into the chest from both the nostrils. Continue, do not stop in the middle. Continue. And stop it. Do nothing. Move the mind on the entire body. Experience the changes, the sensation, the tingling. What I say, recognize them, accept them. Do not react to it. Whatever we are doing is for our own good. And now, another semi-active practice. Start inhaling deep, silent, slow, first into the belly, continue inhaling into the rib cage, up to the neck and the throat, and while breathing out through the nose, make the humming sound louder, deeper, and longer. As deep as possible, as long as possible, as loud as possible. But your inhalation should be deep, silent, and slow. The longer you do, the deeper you do humming, it instantly empties the mind. And stop hammering sound. Look deep inside your heart or the head. Now you are more aware of the space. And in that space, you have to hammer. Hammering means sometimes you hammer the nail into the wall and it is fixed. It goes inside bit by bit. So we are working. Mind has to work on the mind. How? Mentally you hammer, but it should be quick, fast, and loud so that no other thought enters into the mind while hammering. So the body, you bypass the body, you bypass the breath and start hammering mentally. No movement of the lips or the tongue. Quick, fast, and loud in your mind. You are aware. You don't allow the entry of no entry sign. A big sign is there, except Om. Quick, fast, and loud. Continue. And now stop this step also. The second stage is gone for the medium seeker. So today we will jump to the highest level. Look at the breath that goes in, no change. Drop Om Shanti with the meaning. Om is the real self. So the moment you say Om Shanti, the mind absorbs into the infinite space inside the heart. And again you recognize the breath is returning outside. Om Shanti. Going in Om Shanti, coming. Breath going in Om Shanti, coming out Om Shanti. do nothing, remain as you are. Why I always say in the end, do nothing. When the mind looks like a transparent mirror, that mirror is clean. It reflects the real self, and we have a variety of experiences. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We will now share our experiences. How are you, Anne? Michelle, how are you?
I feel very light and comfortable.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I did nothing. You see that? So the knowledge sometimes helps, majority of the times, if we are accepting the principles. So 80% job the knowledge does. That's why we talk of the principles, and 20% is the practice. How are you, Anne?
Okay. I'm calm. I'm fine. I feel peaceful.
Very good. I could see your smile. That is wonderful. That is what happens. So recognize, understand, listen to it again. The highest level of a seeker. Just to know. You know it. You separate the mind. You are already there in peace and happiness. That is why meditation is known as effortless natural. But it is not effortless and natural for everyone. I have to check myself. How are you, Charlie?
Hello, everyone. I'm good. It was a great experience, and it's funny, every time I've done it so far, there's a part of my mind that goes, oh, this is a lot of work. Oh, can't I just sit here and be quiet? Oh, this is a lot. And then I say to myself, come on, we need to do this because this is how to figure it out, you know. But I can feel that, oh God, I've got to do that thing, and that's a lot of work, and I'd rather just not do it. But when I do it, when I let go of that, you know, mind saying this is a lot of work, it's like, oh, I like this. So that's, but I felt
Beautiful.
very peaceful.
Beautiful. It's our level of awareness to our mind increasing. So we are able to separate what the mind is saying and how to deal with it. And let me repeat it. The highest level of a seeker, the mind does not interfere. What is that highest level of a seeker? Your mind is 100% available to you. Like your pet, when the pet is in a right mood. It says, okay, I will follow. So because that is not 100% available, because of distractions, the mind is still wandering. It still has a false notion about the peace and happiness outside. So then it creates, it swings like a pendulum. Oh, I have to do a lot of work. Come on, Charlie, ask your mind, when you are wandering, are you not doing a lot of work? Leave that work, do this work. Very good. How are you, Mead?
The word glimpse. I feel a glimpse
Good.
of something
Beautiful.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, don't shy away to narrate your experiences, the glimpse of that infinite space and calmness and the poise. We are going to understand how these different experiences means, what it means, how it is related to the mind. Any question? We don't have a questioner today. Beautiful. But she asked a beautiful question. No, that's not that. With due love and respect to her. So her mind pops up with a good question. So that is all for today. We'll meet next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.